Welcome back to the Big Z Breakdown. We're going to break down Joe Brady hiring to the Buffalo Bills. What does this mean for the Bills? Because they had a couple different things where they could have went. Now, granted, after they fired Sean McDermott, Terry Pegula, it was pretty ugly. They talked about literally how they didn't want to draft Keon Coleman. It was a decision from Sean McDermott. So that didn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden he said they fired McDermott because of the lack of postseason success. And then they said they lost to the Broncos because of a bad call. That was just absolutely nonsensical. I don't know what happened. But I'll tell you one thing. This hiring, I don't think it's going to be a good thing for Joe Brady. Unfortunately, it's just... For me, I feel like it's Josh McDaniels hiring all over again. Just because you have good offensive coordination success, that does not make you a great head coach. Now, granted, I'd love him to prove me wrong. I just have a weird feeling where this is going to end terribly for the Bills because Sean McDermott was not a bad head coach. He really wasn't. And you hired Joe Brady after you get rid of Ken Dorsey in the middle of 2023. And the good thing about the fact that they have Brady now is that he's been there for about, 2.5 years. Maybe, 3 now, 23, 24, 25. So, 2.5 years when he came in at middle 2023. So, when you look at what is going to happen, obviously it's unknown. But you need to get somebody for your quarterback. That's the biggest thing right now is you need a wide receiver one, and you can't just go out and get Mike Evans. You have to go draft somebody, and Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Brandon Cooks. Those guys are not it. So as far as Josh McDaniels' coaching career, and this is how I foresee things happening, might sound terrible, but he was a head coach 2 times. A great coordinator, leading Drake May to the Super Bowl and a potential maybe MVP front runner. It might be Stafford. But in 2009 to 2010, McDaniels had a 2-year stint with the Broncos, went 8-8 in year 1, and then 3-9, and he got fired midseason. Fast forward to 2021, hires to the Raiders, and the same result. 2021, he went 6-11, and then 3-5. So my fear here isn't that Joe Brady's gonna fail. It's mainly just a dumb decision in my eyes to promote somebody when you didn't have to. The team was fine with Sean McDermott. You have no idea if Brady elevates your team as a head coach or if he makes things worse. Josh McDaniels, again, perfect example of great coordinator, not a great head coach. So can Brady do that and prove me wrong 100%? But there was no need for the Bills to be a dysfunctional franchise and say, we're just going to move on. I think the smartest thing to do was go out and hire Brian Daboll. Now, he took a job in Tennessee as the offense coordinator. I'm loving that situation in terms of what does Cam Ward's future look like now with Brian Daboll, who was a former coach of the year. But again, does he want to be a head coach? Does he want to be an offense coordinator? I think he was holding out for the Bills head coaching job because not only, he has connections to their coaching Josh Allen in the past, but the craziest thing with that is they hired Brady, and then about an hour later he took the Titans offense coordinator job. So it's like I feel like Daboll was waiting for them to make a decision, and when they obviously it's an in-house promotion, so it makes sense that it's Joe Brady, but it doesn't really. It's just okay. It's like why are you gonna fire Sean McDermott just to promote your offensive coordinator, right? So again, the only concern I have is lack of, experience. Sean McDermott's been, to the playoffs 7 years in a row? So, you fire your defensive-minded guy to go hire an offensive guy, and just because he had a bad year defensively with a lot of injuries. This is where you have to go all in if you're the Bills. Restructure a lot of those contracts. You have a lot of upcoming pending free agents. You're going to have to make a lot of moves. It just seems like it's the same thing with the Bills now, to where it's like, Josh Allen, Super Bowl, their window has officially closed. Unless they go out and, the last memorable thing the Bills did was go out and get Stephon Diggs. When they lost Stephon Diggs, they did not do anything to help Josh Allen. James Cook, sure. Dalton Kincaid, for some reason they took in the first round. I don't understand what the Bills are doing because they don't need an elite defense to win football games. Now, granted, Josh Allen, he kind of lost that game against Denver. He did have multiple turnovers that shouldn't have happened. He tried to play hero ball when he didn't have to. But looking at what the Bills need to do, it's a lot. It's a lot. Do you re-sign Joey Bosa? Do you let, Jordan Poyer walk? What do you do with Curtis Samuel's contract? Like, there are so many different things that you could do right now, and obviously the one thing you would probably want to do is fire your GM, Brandon Beane. I'm sure Bills fans are screaming at the screen right now, hey, why are you talking about Brandon Beane yet? I'm not a Bills fan. I don't claim to be by any means, but figured I'd just talk about the head coaching signing of Joe Brady going to the Bills, and I just can't put my finger on it. Something's weird about it to where it's like Joe Brady, to me, doesn't seem like he has the head coaching kind of pizzazz that, some people you're like, oh, that guy, he's going to be a head coach. Like DeMeco Ryans to the Texans. He is a vocal leader in the locker room. I just don't remember the last time I saw a video of Joe Brady. And it's not like you need to act like, Liam Cullen on the Jags, or maybe you're, Ben Johnson on the Bears, but like that's the kind of head coach I want firing up my team. And not that Sean McDermott didn't do that, or he did do that, but I felt like he was at least a good spirit in the locker room. I don't want to downplay this like it's not a good move. Yeah, it's an okay move, but it's like I feel like you had other options. Like, why not wait till after the Super Bowl? Go after Clint Kubiak. Like, Kubiak, I think, would be more drawn to the Bills' job than he would be the Raiders or any of the other teams that still have openings. So it's like, I'm not sure what the Bills are doing here. They need to go either trade for a wide receiver or draft a wide receiver like Elijah Surratt. I don't care if you sign Mike Evans, but Mike Evans is probably going to get franchise tagged by the Bucs if they don't re-sign him, and then the other wide receiver that you have in George Pickens is also probably going to get tagged or get a huge contract extension. Let me know what you think of the Bills signing in the comments. I really think it's going to end in a disaster just because Joe Brady does not have any head coaching experience. And, if he proves me wrong, I'm rooting the bet. I'm rooting for the Bills. Want Josh Allen to go win that Super Bowl. I lack the thought of them actually doing it now when you hired a coach who has been proven to be on top of the AFC North, or AFC East, and you fire him because of lack of postseason success. So I'm not too sure what's going on. Brandon Beane has got a promotion, and Mike Evans, free agent. What do the Bills do? This is just really, really interesting to me, and we'll probably be talking about the Brian Dable signing and what it means for Cam Ward, so be sure to check that out. It's been Mike today, just kind of chalking it up. Shorter video, but hit that sub button, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think about the Joe Brady signing. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.